The mythologies of many worlds tell of a time when the gods walked the earth before, for varying reasons, they depart. Gaecia is not one of those worlds. They never departed. Coming into being at the beginning of the Second Age, the gods fought in a dark wars against the entities that came before them, driving them underground and claiming the surface world for themselves. They created the plants and animals of the world together, but each in isolation made their greatest works, the races of the world in their own image. The fledgling races looked up to their godly masters and worshipped them all equally, and the gods ruled them together. However, this way of living eventually proved unsustainable. The petty disagreements of the gods manifested in preferential treatment of their own creations and ignoring the ones of those they wished to spite. Centuries of squabbling and bickering eventually boiled over and turned into the Titan Wars. The gods fought each other, and the races of the world were dragged into the conflict. Generation upon generation fought one another, bleeding and dying at the behest of their gods, whose anger blinded them to the suffering of their children. It seemed like it would never end, that there'd be no resolution to their disputes, with each god too proud to ever admit fault. During the Battle of Scarlet's Peak, the unthinkable happened. Ulfgar, god of the dwarves, died. Caught off guard from a surprise shot by an elvish warrior, Ulfgar was dealt a mortal blow by Sailor and goddess of the elves. The result of this duel effectively ended the wars, the hatred of the gods tempered by their grief. They looked at the world around them and saw the results of their combat and repented. They swore an oath to each other to not let such devastation occur again. And so as the Third Age began, they divided Gacecia into territories and took their own children there to rule them. And so it has been for 3 millennia, each race living in their own lands, ruled by those who are both king and god. While they abide mostly within the constraints they set upon themselves, tensions are arising anew, and people fear that a new war is on the horizon. The mythologies. Hello everybody and welcome back to Chrononet. Today we will be presenting episode 12 of Gaecia, Homemade Dungeon Dragons 5th Edition campaign. I'm Crazy Vert, I'll be your Dungeon Master of the evening. I made this world and I'll be your guide through it. I very much hope you enjoy your stay. With me tonight is Britty.
Hello chat, I'm Britty. I'm still the token American, which is going to be my intro every night. I'm playing Fleet of Foot, the level 4 monk. I am Wave and Open Hand, and I'm pretty cool.
Riley.
Hello, that was a weird voice. I'm Riley.
Hello.
I'm Riley. I play Yara Sebastian Lieb von Knuckelstump, the warlock of Mystery Patron. I honestly can't remember the name of my patron
Great
right now.
old one.
Great old one. That's the one. We're supposed to be talking
The
people's
gooey
heads
warlock.
and stuff.
He's just covered in slime. It's all disgusting.
He's
Matt.
gooey.
Hello, I'm Matt. I'll be playing Phoenix White as usual, level 4 Fire Ganassi Divination Wizard, and I apologize in advance if I cut out. I am streaming from the land of no Wi-Fi.
And last but not least, Lumie.
No, I'm definitely least. You can admit it to yourselves. Hello, I'm Lumie. I am playing the token Angie character, which is Urashi Broketooth, the Path of the Ancestral Guardian Barbarian, also level 4. We love her. Oh, and the keen-eyed amongst you may notice that she has some new art, which was done by my friend, who I will link in chat, in case anyone was interested.
Yeah, so, unfortunately Nat is not with us. They are not available for today, so, yeah. Live and let live, it is what it is.
Real life takes slight precedence over Dungeons and Dragons, as much as we hate to say it.
That's it.
Well, I think that's your personal outview, but we don't have any announcements to begin this stream, so we'll hop right in. Last time on Gaecia, our still unnamed collection of acquaintances journeyed they had finished their quest for unicorn tears. They made their way out of the Faltorn Woods.
Oh, what a sentence.
Yes. And eventually made their way north into the very south of Cathania, into the city known as Guxnam, a place most famous for its breweries. It's called kind of various beers, ales, all that kind of thing. While they were there, they decided to stop and take a entertaining evening visit to Mazoth's theatre, a powerful wizard who was supposedly able to reverse the effects of aging. Phoenix had a vested interest in this venture, as he was asked by an acquaintance known as Maria Seafoam Buckingham Lantern to seek him out for potential help in solving the Gacecia's kind of dying out problem that they have at the moment.
Only the minor problem of a full species extinction.
Well, not extent yet. But yeah. When they went to see it, it started off, regularly, just a dude doing magic. But as the show went on, I believe it was Yareth who was the keen eye to notice things weren't quite going entirely to plan, and some of the kind of magic runes he'd used as part of the ritual were starting to smoke. Their smoke was starting to accumulate in kind of the ceiling of the tent that they were in. Now, as the ritual completed, it indeed worked, and the noble who had presumably paid through, a lot of money to receive this service, seemingly aged, 10, 20 years, younger than he originally was. However, this was not long-lasting, as he was slightly split in twain by crackling energies, seemingly to emanate from this cloud, and from his two halves formed several kind of small little blob demon things, and from the smoke emerged several kind of flaming horse demons, which then started to set upon the public at large. Taking minor offence to the spoiled evening, our group of adventurers decided to step in and were successfully able to murder all the demons.
Hell yeah, we whacked the shit out of them.
You did, with the help of some guards, to be fair. But yes, in general, you whacked the shit out of them. As our barbarian so delicately put it.
Hell yeah. Both in and out of character, that is the sentence I would be using.
Exactly. Yes, kind of the dust is somewhat settling, I guess, is the best way to put it. And you kind of look around the tent. The demons seem to have been banished for now. Can I have someone roll me 3d6, please?
I'll do it.
Go ahead.
Wow.
That's
cursed.
You say that. You managed to do a good job of
It could be
keeping
worse,
kind of
Britty. It could be 3 6s.
the demons kind of away from the general public. Most of whom have run away. And between you and the guards, only 3 civilians were murdered, is probably the best way of putting it, by the demons during this attack. So 3 was quite good.
Nice.
Yes, as I say, the dust is settling. You're looking around. Here's Mazoth, kind of. He's not completely cowering. However, he was definitely backing away from the action, though he was helping. So yes, what do, I guess, is the question.
Immediately walk over to Mazoth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're
I'm gonna go
walking
out
over
on
to
a limb and
Mazoth.
say, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that was not supposed to happen, because that's giving you the benefit of the doubt. Because if that was what was supposed to happen here, well,
now, don't you come at me like that, okay? I know this looks bad, but
You
it wasn't
think?
I mean,
me.
this looks more than bad, friend. A very wealthy man is dead. More than a few members of the crowd are dead,
Yes.
and you just summoned. I'm pretty sure we're demons.
I did not
into the mix.
summon them. Yareth, kind of, because you rolled really well, as I recall, you gathered that you don't think his ritual was what summoned them. You were kind of watching along, and you were fairly sure.
Yeah. Is
That
there
was
still
the
any
intention.
remnants of any of the sigils?
No, they all kind of disappeared. There's like like burnt powder and like some like the remnants of material components, but aren't actually any glowing sigils anymore. So it's kind of things where they were, but they're not still
Yeah.
there.
I mean, friend, regardless of malice or incompetence, what happened happened, and it happened because of you.
We don't know that for sure. I would ask you to back off until the authorities arrive. I'm sure they will take full care of it. For all we know, it could have been you.
I'm sorry, did you see anyone else casting magic while you were performing your
No, but
ritual?
I wasn't really in the best position to, was I?
I don't know.
I can
Phoenix,
tell-
Yareth, did you see anybody?
Chap, I can tell you that the only person in this room casting magic was your good self.
Can you absolutely verify that? Were you watching every single crowd member
At
intently?
this point, I think Ash is gonna come over. She just looks at this man and says, "Drop the act."
What?
She's covered in blood, but shit, none of it's hers. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, some of it
But
says.
not
Actually,
very
no,
much.
Demons don't tend to bleed a whole lot.
Fine, she's covered in some blood, but she doesn't seem like she cares.
Well,
You probably don't want to be covered with whatever demons make.
I don't know what you imply. It just sounds gross. Anyway.
Everyone wants to get covered in demon bits.
Oh, God.
Sounded even worse.
Right.
Whoops.
In his head, he just hears, and listen, chap. You can tell me if you don't want to tell the others. Do you know anything that happened? Honestly.
Out loud, he will look at you. No, I do not know anything. Now, you are not the authorities. Back off until they arrive.
I'm aware we're not. This will be better. I'm aware we're not the authorities, chap. But I'm not sure what the plot was.
Right now, I'd say it's a pretty good thing we're not the authorities, because, I mean, think how this looks to us. With context of what happened. How's it going to look to them?
Look, sir,
Magic show. Dead noble. Demons, dead crowd members. This doesn't look good, friend.
I'd prefer to help you if we could. You just gotta tell us what the hell's happened here, because this was a lot.
I don't know.
Okay, so
what can I tell you if I know nothing?
Run us through it. What normally happens at these
Can
shows?
Exactly what you saw, that there were no demons killing people.
Can I insight him?
Sure.
I think he's lying.
I think he's saying the complete truth.
Oh, no. That was advantage. It shouldn't be advantage.
Hasn't popped up yet.
No.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Well done, Ash. Ash believes him.
Well, no, it's not that you believe him. You can't really tell. Like, I mean, what he's saying makes sense. From what you've heard, he's performed the show several times before, and there's been no demonic incidents. But maybe that was a cover. You don't really know.
Phoenix will begin jotting notes in his book and move over to Yareth and say, Yareth, you seem to have caught this the earliest, and Phoenix will be writing out word for word exactly what Mazoth had been saying during the ritual, including any actions taken, sigils drawn in the air, and he will present that to Yareth. Where exactly did the ritual start going wrong?
So the one room that was smoking the most was kind of located around here.
Yareth will explain best he can, saying, well, it was one of these runes. I'm not entirely sure what it means. It was just smoking. I was sort of surprised no one else was getting anything. Look, obviously we need to look at what his rituals are, if
Andy cut out.
All right, we've lost the Yareth, unfortunately.
So
well,
while
yeah.
Gareth and Phoenix are doing their magic study, we will just Mazoth, did you get hit at all? Did anything touch you? Are you okay?
I was lucky enough to back off. Fortunately, you all charging in drive distracted them, so I suppose I should thank you for that.
You didn't
Even
get
if the
hit. You don't need.
accusations are less than welcome.
You don't need medical attention. You're fine.
I'll
So
need
he
medical
kind of taps
attention in a
himself
minute.
over, in that kind of, two arms, two legs kind of way. No, I'm all right.
All right, and Ash, no, we're not gonna hurt him. Not unless we absolutely have to.
By the way, throughout all of this, Althea is moving between the crowd, asking very similar questions to anyone she can get a hold of, asking if anyone needs help or medical attention. Just kind of working her way through.
There's not really a crowd anymore.
Anyone who's in the tent. She's just
It's kind
working
of you guys, the guards, and possibly like a fresh widow, to put it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
And Riley's back.
welcome back.
So, Yaris chap, where did you go?
The Discord app just completely crashed. I am now on Discord through the browser, which I hate.
Cool.
It sounds fantastic.
Yeah, I'll turn back from Yareth and kind of point out the same point in the ritual that Yareth seems to have identified as the thing going wrong. Your ritual. What does this mean?
I'm not entirely sure. I mean,
You're not entirely. Did
he
you
kind of
construct the
wanders
ritual or
over,
not?
and he kind of gets out his staff and he starts poking around. The remnants of the material components that were there. So it's kind of various like ashes and stuff like that. He kind of
More than one hash.
yes. He kind of picks up a small amount and he kind of sniffs it and then tastes it, kind of spits it out. When it started smoking, it happens occasionally if it's got too much sulfur in. He's kind of rummaging around more. He's kind of muttering more to himself than to you. He seems to be starting his own diagnosis, I guess. It's at this point that a new figure will enter the tent. They are a imposing dragonborn, standing roughly 6'7", kind of shimmering, silver scales. They are dressed in incredibly, nasty looking kind of heavy plate armor with kind of ceremonial kind of markings on it. In one hand, he carries a very nasty looking glaive, and he is followed by about 12 more guards, and he'll kind of walk up the middle and make his way towards you. Actually, no, he's not making his way towards you, sorry. He's making his way towards this lizard folk. And he will kind of, what happened here? And the lizard folk will start explaining.
While he's doing that, Phoenix would like to kind of continue jotting down what he remembers of the ritual.
Sure, maybe intelligence.
Emotions, actions, words said.
General
the
intelligence.
components used he could identify. And he'd like to start kind of drawing his own conclusions based on what this particular part has gone wrong, like what it was supposed to do, why it didn't do that, and what might have caused it to not do what it was intended to do.
Okay, first, general intelligence, see what you can call.
Keen mind feat.
Okay, sure.
DM's Bane, there it is.
Yeah. All right, then Arcana.
Not good.
This is completely out of your field, both in it's not really your area of study, and it's well, it might not literally be years for you because we're D&D leveling, but it's years ahead of you, technically advanced wise. What you could reasonably hope to get in your career. So
Then he's just kind of listening along to Mazoth's mutterings, trying to work out what he can from that.
I mean, Mazoth generally seems not particularly sure what's happening. Because, as you say, he's talking about, sometimes it smokes, which is presumably why he didn't take much notice of it. But it generally doesn't summon demons. So, as I say, you imagine he's much as befuddled as you are. Provided you believe him, of course. So at this point, you notice the lizard folk guard kind of pointing towards you guys in general. And it's at this point the silver dragonborn will kind of make his way over. Greetings. My name is... What's his name again? Captain Gallic.
What an interesting name.
Yeah. Captain Gallic Kafioch. Let me put that in chat. I will be conducting this investigation. The city of Goksam thanks you for your aid in this matter. However, you are all under investigation and will be required to provide witness statements and testimonies at a later date. I will need you all to provide details of where you are staying. You are not to leave the city until this matter is concluded.
Well, I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem.
Does it normally take? Out of curiosity.
This is an unusual case. I do not like to guess. I am sure you understand.
Phoenix is not paying attention. He's just listening to Mazoth and doing some arcane sussing.
Sure. I'll be sure to let him know.
Where are you staying?
Oh, Fleet. I was saying the chain place.
It's called
The Leaky
Merryweather.
Barrel.
It's the Merryweather Associate, right?
Yes, the Leaky Barrel.
Leaky Barrel, it's a Merryweather Associate.
We kind of nod, and the lizard folk is actually, no, it'll be a different lizard folk. Will kind of be behind him. Will be jotting down notes. Basically, you imagine he's transcribing the entire conversation with the kind of how fast he's writing. Very good. And your names?
I'm Fleet of Foot. The fiery one is Phoenix. Small one's Yareth, and the big one is Ash. And the bright girl behind you is Althea.
Please. Yareth Sebastian Lieb von Stamp. I'm sure you need full names.
Full name, yes. Urashi Broketooth. Ash has no idea what's going on, so she just follows Yareth's lead, which is probably a bad decision.
Hell yeah.
Did you say the ace mob behind you? She was part of the intervention.
She helped out,
Ooh.
yeah.
Phoenix's ears quirk, and he kind of breaks his attention away from the circle and goes, "Sorry, this is a strange question. How did you know our friend was an Azamar?"
He kind of smiles at you. He kind of reaches up towards his face, actually towards his eye, and he'll kind of take off a small, kind of glass covering. It's basically a contact lens, although contact lenses, until now, you weren't aware of in Gaecia. This detects magic. He kind of puts it back in. Which is why I can tell you are an interesting group. Magically speaking. Except for the Diddle. But
what did your little monocle tell you about this ritual?
Sorry, I didn't know what you said.
What did your little monocle tell you about this ritual?
Magic is long gone. It is difficult to say.
Shame, and he'll turn back to it.
What exactly is your business in Goksam?
Honestly, not much. We're really just passing through.
Hang on a moment. Did you just say except for the drow?
Yes.
I'm not magic.
Those blazers looked pretty magic to me.
Oh, I suppose those are. Okay. Yeah, fair
It
enough.
was a
I
vague
forgot about them.
The
aura.
boots, no?
It is not as strong as these two, he gestures fangs in earth, but a little bit of necromancy.
Kind of
Ash just looks genuinely shocked.
Excuse me, sir. To what were you, sorry, to what chap were you indicating necromancy?
This is Urashi, the orc. Half orc,
Ah.
sorry. This is not strong. Just a small aura. Nowhere near what you have. He gestures towards you two. But it is there.
You said you didn't detect magic on me,
Interesting.
correct?
Well,
Yareth, Ash looks
you have
genuinely
shoes,
confused.
but you are not innately magic beyond,
And
regular drow.
there's nothing else on me that's magical?
This is where the DM remembers, have I given many magic items?
That's... I'm not carrying any
beyond
other magic items. Besides
and
the...
your casting is what he's getting at.
Yeah.
You-
The only other
Right.
slightly magical thing I'm carrying is the knuckle dusters, but Fleet is hoping that maybe her necklace is? Probably not, but she can hope.
I mean, are you asking, is this magic?
I'm asking if... I don't want to ask it directly. She's just asking, is there anything else besides the shoes and the knuckle dusters?
I love that.
Well,
Fleet,
he would say
Fleet's
items.
like, you know, like, I don't know, your wife gets a haircut and you've got to notice it yourself. And she's like, do you notice anything different about me? And yeah, that's what Fleet's doing now.
I mean, pretty much, yeah.
No, he would say, no, you've got magic items and innate spellcasting, but there's
He's
nothing.
talking about like our own individual magic auras, yeah?
Yes, so kind of any innate magic. Whereas Fleet, yes, has them, but he doesn't comment on it because it's just innate drow magic. So
Okay.
it's
Cool
not
beans, cool
anything
beans.
plus, Whereas you comment on your necromancy aura because that's not something an orc would typically have, or half orc. Same way Yarth is an aura beyond that of a typical gnome because he's a whiz-lock thing. But anyway,
Oh yeah.
you say you were passing through Guxton. From where to where?
Well, it's a bit of a long story. To cut it short, we're traveling from near south to pretty far north. I, as a player, can't remember the city names, but Fleet would.
Okay, so you just came from Casme. And I believe you, it's Falari was where you actually headed, that you passed through other places, I believe. It's my understanding of a route. You're right. What was your business in Casme?
Doing some deliveries for our Asmar friend.
Phoenix will just absently point at Mazoth and just go, "This guy, actually."
You were with him in Casme?
Not with him. Wanted to talk to him.
In Casimir, not here.
I was asking what you were doing in Casme.
Dropping off a delivery.
For him?
No,
No.
we're here in Guxnam to see him while we're on the way. We were in Casimir to drop off a delivery. Sorry, I think my friend is a bit distracted by this magic.
There are many things to be distracted by. I asked you do not pay them heed. It will aid my investigation. Now, you say you were interested in the show. He's looking at Phoenix now.
Not the show. I said. This guy.
I see. You have heard of him?
I was told about him, yeah.
By who?
Mutual acquaintance in Lantern.
He kind of raises an eyebrow like, come on, bro, give me more.
What's a name gonna mean? You won't heard of her.
A name could mean very much.
Maria Seafoam.
Good. Why were you seeking Mazoth out?
I was told, though I remain skeptical, that he had certain skills that might prove interesting to me.
I see. You have not yet managed to approach him? You were planning to after the show, I presume.
Got a bit derailed, yeah.
All right. What would you plan to do them? You say Filari, yes?
Sorry, I missed that. Can you say that again?
What were you planning after? Filari, yes? Falari, sorry. I know my own cities.
Filari, up to Rakocanis, head round to Rak-Ilganes. Like, do you want our entire travel plans? We were planning on seeing most of Cathania.
Phoenix.
You tourist?
I mean, Cathania is my home, but I haven't seen much of it.
I'm a traveler by trade, so yes, sightseeing is a part of it.
To give you everything right now, we're on a job from the Church of Aesme to go around, talk to some people, get some stuff, go back.
That is very different to touristry.
Yes.
Well, while we're
And
here,
that's
we
why
want to
we
see
probably
things.
shouldn't be lying to the police.
I'm not lying.
Never said we.
Oh, Yareth, you're not supposed to deep throat the boot.
Jesus
Okay.
Christ!
I'm sorry. For anyone watching the stream, I'm basically a cop. That's why it's funny.
Right. I might need to ask further about this later on, but
I'm sure.
for now, I will respect your aid to our city, for which we thank you. My associates here tell me that were it not for your intervention, many more lives could be lost. So, he kind of nods his head. I thank you.
It's what we do. You're
Now,
welcome.
Have a good day.
I suggest you return to your lodgings for the evening. We will send word to you around 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. The details as to how you should conduct yourself tomorrow. We might need to, we might not. Depends what other information can be discovered this evening.
Sure.
Now go.
Gareth will start to leave.
Yeah, Ash quite happily leaves.
Lead sees no reason to kick up a fuss here.
Hey. So you are out of the tent, back on the streets of Guxenham. Leaky barrel or other plans?
Okay, are we going to talk about what the hell we saw? Do we believe Mazoth?
Do.
I believe he doesn't know. I believe what happened was unexpected. I don't believe that absolves him of responsibility.
I agree.
I don't trust magic.
No, it's fighters who are meant to be scared of magic. Come on.
No, she's not scared of magic. She doesn't trust what magic can do in the wrong hands, and he seems like the wrong hands.
Sorry, my hotspot dropped out for a moment. Did we leave, or is Mazoth still? What's
The captain told you to return to the inn, and that you'll be sent word in the morning whether you'd be needed for more interviews.
Right, well, I mean, if he's still hanging around, I'm sure we can, as long as we're in his sight. Phoenix will stay for a moment with Mazoth.
You were told to leave, basically. The captain was right by Mazoth, presumably intent on talking to him next.
Yeah, just Before we leave, Phoenix will step over to him and just say, I wasn't lying. I am here to talk to you, and I intend to. It won't be an interrogation, but we need to talk. Then he'll follow everyone else.
You reckon he heard you, but he doesn't seem to be paying much attention. You follow everyone out, and yeah, you're having a conversation.
That was the worst magic show I've ever paid for.
I think we can all agree
Do you
with
think,
that.
actually, on a semi-related note, do you reckon we can get refunds?
I'm not sure that should be our concern at the moment.
Why not? We've been fleeced. You all keep telling me that money's important. Surely this is one of those times.
I think there's a time and a place for money to be important, and I think right now, the people that got hurt and the people that died are probably a bit more important, and making sure that doesn't happen again, also more important, possibly.
I'd also say, you saw what you paid for. You saw a old man turn into a slightly less old man. So
True, we did,
middle-aged.
yeah, I suppose.
So, from a lawyer perspective, refund probably not. Compensation, maybe. Refund probably not.
Just seems like trouble seems to follow us anywhere we go.
It does, doesn't it? I think it's great.
We weren't the ones bringing it this time.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that we're not getting in trouble for it is a step up from what I expected.
Why would we get in
Correct.
trouble for it? We stop people dying.
Correction. We're not getting in trouble yet.
Well, it seems like they just want to ask questions, and as long as we're telling the truth, we should be fine.
Oh, hello. I didn't realize that you were also the person that was going to be saying whether or not we were guilty. Sorry, that sounded better in my head. They're going to want...
Well, if it sounded better in your head, why didn't you just send it into my head?
Fucking hell, Fleet!
Okay, I'd like someone at the end of the session to remind me that Fleet gets my vote for inspiration for that fucking line.
Oh dear.
Look.
Anyone else hearing that?
Matt,
Yeah,
you're beeping a
I
bit.
thought it. Look. Before 8 o'clock tomorrow, or before they want to talk to us, because I don't doubt they're going to want to talk to us one-on-one. We need to get our stories fucking straight about whether we're tourists or whether we're doing a job. Because what's the fucking point of lying?
We're doing both.
Yeah.
We're on a job, and we're also seeing the attractions while we're here. I don't think that's unreasonable.
Yeah.
I
Just tell
agree.
them that.
However,
It's nothing to hide.
if someone asks you what you're doing, the most important thing is the thing that you should probably say.
Well, what are we... We're not here in Guxnum to collect anything. We're here to make a stop. We're not doing a part of the job here. This is just on our pathway to doing it.
I agree. However, he asked what we were doing in Cathania in general.
You know, that's a good
delivering
point.
something.
Also unrelated to the investigation he's conducting and none of his goddamn business.
Yeah, but they don't tend to see it that way, do they?
Yeah,
I've met about 4 guards in my entire life, and I already know that.
It definitely could be part of their business. Because depending on what we're doing in Cathania, it might have to do with this whole investigation.
I would say that Hope and the Church of Esme are absolutely none of their business, and seeing as we're on a job from them.
However,
can we ask for...
we could say to them, hey, if you want, contact these people for proof of what we're doing.
Well, 1, we can do that, and 2, Phoenix, how much reach does the Church of Esme have in Cathania? I don't know what you guys practice around here.
I think we need to be careful here. I think Phoenix is right. I think any mention of hope could be dangerous.
We don't need to mention... hope.
We're on a job. If they ask who from, it's, I don't know, we say it's Althea's employers.
I've already said the Church of Aesme in there.
Exactly.
We
yeah.
can say from the
And then-
church, and
yeah,
then the
that's
church
it.
can say, well, this is our private job, and if you want more,
I don't think they're going
bring
to be
us a
that
higher
interested, to be honest. We did save lots of people's lives.
They don't know that we didn't start it. Did you see any
I'll
guards
find that
in?
out when they talk to people, though,
There were a
won't they?
few
No
guards
one
in
can
there.
say it was them.
Wow! Have you ever heard of lying before? I do it for a living before I met you all. And Yareth then just fucks off back to the tavern.
Okay,
That's a
we're
bit
gonna have a
odd.
talk
Okay,
about
Yav
land for a
continues
living.
heading in the exact same direction you already.
I don't know why he thinks. I
He-
think it.
He goes off with more pace.
Yeah, you still with it.
We're gonna
Yeah,
have a
it's
chat
just-
about getting
anyway.
land for a living.
Fenix looks at his tiny little legs going, oh, that's adorable.
Middle finger just back at you.
I mean, to be fair, what can that guy know anyway? His contact. All he's got is his contact lens, and that is obviously broken.
How?
I've got a necromancer.
You might not be, but those bracers.
No, he said it was me.
I wouldn't be so sure, Urashi. Necromancy has a pretty broad definition. It doesn't just mean raising the dead.
I mean, I send people to the land of the dead, but I don't think that's what he means.
I'm a reverse necromancer.
Yeah.
Isn't a paladin just a reverse necromancer?
I was going to say, I think you mean a cleric there, friend.
Yeah, paladin
No.
cleric. Close enough.
What about like zealot barbarian?
Could also be a reverse necromancer. We're gonna have a chat with him about land for a living, because that makes me nervous. But more important right now is we have the box. We can get confirmation from the church about anything. It's just a matter of how much reach and how much power does the church really have in Cathania? Will they care if we have a letter from the church saying we're doing a private mission?
I wouldn't count on it too much. People
Also,
pay lip
I
service
think-
to the other gods here, but if you're not Tuthok, you're not shit.
That's what I was worried about. So I don't know if our church influence is going to really do much to help us here.
Also, if we say it's a private mission, is that not going to make them more intrigued? We need to pass it off as something kind of dull, right? Like we're just
Well, that's
here
even
on
if
a
we
business
want to
trip.
lie.
What?
Well, do we need to lie to them? Do we want to lie to them?
I think we just try and avoid giving specific details unless asked. And then if we are asked, we keep it generic. We're on a work trip from we're doing some work for the church, and we've come here to get supplies.
We're on a mission
The
from
details
God.
of which are the details of which are church business and can be confirmed with them.
Yeah, exactly.
know,
Although,
having
Phoenix, I would
experience-
say maybe try not to antagonize them.
I think we should get some kind of letter of confirmation from the church with the box tonight, and hopefully it arrives before tomorrow morning.
That would expedite things, because you know what's going to happen as soon as we say it's church business and they can take it up with them? They're going to hold us here until they get that confirmation.
Yeah, I think it's something they'll be looking for, so send a letter over. Well, yeah, send something over, they'll send something back, and then we're
Right.
A-okay.
In terms of getting it tomorrow, the box switches items at dawn, so you could send a letter dawn today, and you wouldn't get anything until the next dawn, at the earliest.
That's
So
fine. I
at
can
least
hardly
a
imagine
day.
this affair is going
No.
to take less than a day.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying you couldn't have it tomorrow, unless you have like sending.
I don't think we have. We're not high enough level for that yet.
At least not to my knowledge.
I don't think any.
Next
I don't think
level.
any of us have sneakily hit
Yeah.
level 5.
You haven't sneakily leveled up without my permission, have you?
The Phoenix
Oh,
will
no, he's
What?
onto us.
Phoenix will begin drafting a letter to that effect, kind of brief details that we're in Guxnam. Something happened while we're in Guxnam. We're involved in an investigation. We do not want to give the details of our job. We're looking for some sort of confirmation to the fact that we are indeed working for the Church of Aesme.
All right, yeah, you can start writing that. So we'll say you're right back at the tavern. As you kind of made your way, the streets immediately outside the tent were on the quiet side. But then as you got further and further away, it kind of picked up. And here at the tavern, things seem as jovial as you might normally expect from a evening.
Well, I'm glad the dour mood hasn't reached everybody.
Probably just because word hasn't spread yet.
Yeah, I suppose we can just give it time.
Have we prepaid for rooms?
No, I've
I
never had
believe
the
you
chance
have
to
already
see this.
paid for your rooms.
I've actually had the chance to see this firsthand. And a part of something that's almost certainly going to garner a couple rumors. Interesting to see how they get twisted.
I was real worried that you were about to say something about starting your own rumor, but I'm glad that we're not going down that pathway.
I mean, that's an ultimate suggestion.
No, I was saying it because it's not the right thing to do.
I mean, start a couple rumors. Mysterious strangers helping out with a magical accident. Some heroics. Althea healing people. No.
Sorry.
None of it lies.
Yeah, but you did literally just mention how rumors get twisted, and I don't want to cause more trouble than this is already worth.
Here's the thing, though, Fleet. If it gets twisted after we've left, doesn't matter, does it?
It does. People are still affected when you're not around.
Yeah, but we won't be. I don't know.
And?
It feels... all I'm saying is, if we end up... What is it that we are concerned for? Is it us? Is it hope? Is it... why are we worrying about it in the first place? Because if it's just about us, then it doesn't matter what they say once we've gone. But if it's about other things, then it does.
Well, because it's
I
about
say...
not the natural order of things, but how things generally go. The truth is a good thing for the most part.
That's a bit pointless anyway. Can't spot Yareth anywhere, and this is more his wheelhouse than ours.
He seemed a bit grumpy. I'm sure he's just up, taking a breather.
Yeah, for a self-admitted liar, he seemed pretty irritated when, we didn't even lie.
Some people would say that omitting to tell the truth was kind of a lie.
We tell the truth, but we leave out anything that we are not directly asked for.
And we leave out hope.
We still don't know exactly who's after her.
We leave hope out, Fleet. I don't like lying either, but we leave hope out.
There's a upside and a downside to this, because leaving her out means that if whatever or whoever is after her has spies, contacts, whatever in any cities, then she won't be discovered. But if we put her in, and this... It's a long shot, but if this random guard happens to have information on the people chasing her, then it would be beneficial to us.
The long shot on those odds that I'm not comfortable taking.
There's just positives and negatives, and I'm always...
Look, listen. We haven't done anything wrong, right? We just wait until the morning, we find out what they're going to ask us, and we answer. It's simple.
I suppose. You're right. Sometimes simplest answer is the correct one.
Exactly.
I believe someone named a sword after that.
It's at this point, Urashi, you notice a orc who you hadn't noticed previously when you enter the bar. He'll kind of stand up from his table where he'd been sitting alone, and he'll kind of walk up to you. He'll kind of politely tap you on your shoulder. Hi. I think I might have some news that might be of interest. Can I buy you a drink?
Does the drink come with a name?
He's talking to Urashi specifically. Sorry, I might not miss it.
Ash eyes him fairly warily. She'll take him up on the offer, yeah.
He'll buy you whatever ale you ask for. Let's step aside.
something. Okay. But what's this chap's name? I missed it. Sorry.
He hasn't told you his name yet.
Oh, okay, that's
He
why.
hasn't given it. Ooh.
It's just a dude. This is how Ash dies, guys.
Just a random orc, yeah.
He will kind of lead you over to a quiet corner, and he'll start speaking to you in a kind of conspiratorial whisper that I'm not going to mimic because.
Oh, I love a conspiratorial whisper. Amazing.
So, I heard from the. I said I was going to replicate it. So, I heard from the bartender you came from the south.
Yes.
Take it you haven't heard any rumors from the Badlands, or the Plateau rather. He wouldn't say Badlands, Plateau.
Have we? I don't think we have.
I mean, you haven't in recent times.
No, nothing. No.
He'll kind of give you a kind of a half smile. I think I might make your evening. It is said, well, it is not said, it is deliberately being spread among our kind that Ormus has gone. He is abandoned most of his hunt, and he is deliberately investigating certain rumors that he has heard, and he told, the clan chiefs who normally try to distance themselves from him, but he was able to convince them to start making quiet preparations for a new great hunt. As he kind of says, great hunt, he's putting special emphasis on that, like that's the really exciting bit. You would also know this, being a half-orc yourself. A great hunt is basically a giant coalition of all of Ormus's followers, all together forming one massive army or hunt, and specifically taking down a designated threat. There have only been 3 in history. The first one was during the Dark Wars. He was kind of followed by giants and genies, stuff like that. And it was the first great hunt, a large, what's the word I'm looking for? Campaign to kind of. It was basically to distract the massed legions of whatever entities were the enemies of the gods in the Dark Wars, while the other gods took kind of a spearhead kind of elite force right into the heart of the enemy. The details are quite foggy because everything from that time is quite foggy. The second was after the Dark War. It was kind of when the gods were kind of consolidating their position on the kind of surface world of Gaecia. And so it was kind of, again, he took followers, they were kind of giants, the very last of the genies and the very first Ganassi, after they kind of started switching as the primordial chaos was waning. And he kind of basically was clearing the surface of the remnants of the enemies from the Dark War. This is when the orcs were made. Again, there's lots of rumors about exactly how it happened. Some would say, they sprang from where he stepped, or every drop of sweat from his brow turned into one of the first orcs. All kinds of rumors, but all is known is that he started out the Great Hunt with giants and genies, and he ended with mostly orcs. Third and final was the most recent by far. It was only about 1,000 years or so ago. There was a lich, a great lich, who was kind of coming up from the Underdark and was attempting a major strike at the surface of Gaecia. He was kind of coming up from underneath the Crooked Peak, and basically Drzisk's forces there, goblins there, were not enough to repel them. And basically, while the other gods dithered around like, oh, what's the best strategy, almost kind of just took it into his own hands, and he amassed all of the orcs, and he took them to the Crooked Peak and kind of down below, and basically, not single-handedly, but pretty much single-handedly, nipped it in the bud before it became too much of a threat. Lots of people might criticize this move, or do criticize this move, because the Lich himself and a lot of his forces did manage to escape. And some people said, oh, you should let them come up so you could completely destroy them. But, in general, is considered a success because it's stopped a lot of the dying that would have happened if they'd actually gained a foothold. Yes. So as he says the words Great Hunt, you kind of feel the kind of weight of those words.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, obviously, Ash's eyes widen, and for the first time, she also drops into the conspiratorial whispering.
Yeah.
Which, again, I'm not going to try and mimic. A great hunt.
You did exactly what I did. Say I'm not going to whisper.
I'm not going to do it, and then I did.
I know.
What's the prey?
Well, we don't know yet. That's rough. As far as we can tell, that's what Ormus is investigating at the moment. But he seems pretty serious to have exerted his will over some of the more independent clan chiefs.
Do I think that this guy is he telling the truth as far as I can tell?
Insight.
Oh God, Ash, come on.
This
makes up for all my nat 20s last session, doesn't it?
I mean, there are people who are like always predicting a great hunt. However, from the word of one man, you can't be, oh yes, actually this is 100%. But you're inclined to believe him. He seems honest enough. He doesn't seem like he's actively trying to deceive you. He seems fairly open-faced.
Okay, cool. Ash, I guess, yeah. Well, do you know which tribes he's contacted?
As far as I can tell, all of them. As I was about to say, I was specifically sent into the West to find people like you who have not been home for some time and inform them that to be aware, and that perhaps it might be time to start thinking about heading homeward. Rumors say that he should be done with his investigations by the end of winter, and that we could be marching by his side come summer. But that is only hopeful thinking, I think.
You think it will be sooner?
It will not be during winter. That is a poor time for campaigns. I think it might be later.
Hitler would have done well to take note of.
Well...
Hitler, Napoleon.
To be fair, it would be even worse in medieval times.
Yeah.
Or, these kind of times.
Okay, so when what I'm getting at is when he says "and will be by his side in summer," does he mean when he says that sounds like wishful thinking? Does he think that it's going to be later than summer or before?
He thinks it might be not this summer. That is his.
So it might be next summer kind of thing.
Yeah, he's not sure. The rumors, what people are saying is next summer, but he is basically implying, that might be wishful thinking.
Okay, cool.
You gather he's probably thinking on the lines of it can be quite difficult to organise all of the clan chiefs under one banner.
Yeah.
It's only been done once before in the third Great Hunt, so logistically, yeah.
And just confirm for me, he's reaching out to the half-orc tribes as well as the orc tribes?
There's not really a distinction between a half-orc tribe.
Yeah, I didn't think there
They're
was.
just
Cool.
Tribes.
Excellent.
It's just
In
all
that case, I
followers of
retract the
Orcs.
question.
So it's not 100% orcs and half-orcs. So there might be the occasional other person who has decided to live among them. And obviously orcs and half-orcs can decide not to follow on this. So it is just
Awesome.
If you are a follower, you are part of the Great Hunt, basically.
Yep. Well, thank you for telling me. I will keep a closer eye on things.
Well, just doing my job. If you do see any others, pass the word on.
I will. What's your name?
Oh, my name. Let me look in the thing.
Wait, will the DM pull something out of his ass?
It's not out of my ass. I did have a name. I just shut the tab like a moron.
It's fine. We believe you. Thousands wouldn't.
Oh my god, what is taking forever? I'll tell you in a minute. It's taking forever.
That's okay.
Anyway, I think my internet was under a lot of stress.
What?
So he'll kind of thank you and go back to his drink.
Yeah, that's fine. Ash will go back to the others, looking slightly shell-shocked, but not too bothered, really. It's a bit quiet, though.
Anything of note from Tall, Green, and Mysterious?
Oh, some, call it tribal politics. There are some rumblings of something stirring in the south, that's all.
Something? That's very vague. Is it something you don't want to tell us, or is it something that you don't know about?
Well, I don't know what the... We don't really know what it is. That's what he was just telling me.
That's fine. If it's your business, it's your business. You seem to be
For the
living.
first time, Phoenix, you get a sense that Ash is grateful to your I don't give a shit if it's not me attitude. Ulrak Bullhorn, what a name!
I mean,
You
usually...
seem to be living in interesting times.
What was that? Sorry, Matt?
We seem to be living in interesting times.
What did the fact that the gods put a tea party out for us not tell you that?
Phoenix's expression immediately sours.
That's definitely not why I mentioned it.
You still haven't opened your cool magic item. I'm not
Is there a
upset.
reason to yet?
DM gives you custom magic items like less than 10 sessions in, and your character's like, nah, bro, where's
I
the
don't
receipt?
want it. I don't want it.
He hasn't been given a reason to yet. On that note, he'll kind of excuse himself and go to his room.
Is anyone else doing anything else tonight?
Ash will, I guess, have a couple more drinks and make idle chit chat with Fleet.
Yeah, we'll have a
But
good
then,
time.
yeah, she'll probably go to bed as well.
Early night to deliberately try and be first up tomorrow.
How much for the rooms for the night?
I believe you already paid for them, I think. If I remember
Cool.
correctly. It doesn't matter too much, but I think you already paid.
Because I don't think we... No, we did. We came in and then we whiled away a bit of time and then we went... Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Alright. As night passes, Yarth, or Riley rather, can you roll me a d20, please?
Okay.
Ooh.
10.
Down the middle.
Your sleep is unpleasant. As much as you seek to grasp it, it seems to evade you all night long. There might be a couple of moments when you drift off for maybe an hour overall, but by the end of the night, you are not rested.
That's rude.
Not rested in the mechanical sense?
In the mechanical sense,
No rest at all, not even short.
you will have had a short rest. You can get short rest ability. But not a long
Cool.
rest.
Oh.
So, I'm exhausted?
No, I'm not like.
Okay.
You were in bed. I'm not going to give you exhaustion, but you did not have your rest was fitful. It did not quite qualify for a long rest.
Bro, that means I'm missing rages.
No, me.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
only
just
Gareth.
Yara.
Me.
We're
Just
fine.
me. Only me.
Oh, sweetie.
As you wake
Well,
up,
sucks for
you
you, I
find
guess.
your eye drawn to the buckle on your nightstand. I think it might have had something to do with it.
How early is early for Yareth?
He just wanted to make sure my intention was that he just wanted to be the first one down there, or try to be.
Phoenix, as per usual, wakes with the dawn.
Cool, then Phoenix will be there before.
It is winter. Dawn's quite late.
It's not a specific time. Phoenix just wakes with the dawn, as done for the last couple of weeks.
Pick up the belt buckle and just stare at it. And just who the just if you've given me something, which is awesome, I'd appreciate it if you talked to me rather than made me feel like crap, though. Just talking to the belt buckle. And we'll
It
then
reacts
get
as
dressed
much as an ordinary belt buckle might.
and we'll then get dressed and go downstairs.
Actually, no. Ordinary belt buckle might be polished. You can see your own face in it. This, no.
Mm-hmm. Once Yareth is downstairs, he will get breakfast and whatnot.
As I say, you took a short rest, so you could like roll hit dice or whatever. But not
Yareth was at full health.
Sure. All right. Fair enough.
He wasn't hit in that fight.
Imagine getting hit in combat.
But yeah, Yareth will just find a booth or something away from the majority of where people tend to sit in the mornings, get breakfast in, and then get out a deck of cards, shuffle it, and 3 cups and a ball, and then wait for everyone else to join.
Right. I mean, eventually everyone will come down. Breakfast will be a remnant of the food from the previous night.
Morning.
I don't like that one.
Morning,
That
Gareth.
makes me very nervous.
What's all this?
Cool. Sit down. This is how I made money. And Yareth will begin to demonstrate 3-card Monty, find the queen, ball under the cups, find the
I'm
correct
really
ball.
good at the ball under the cup. Let me try.
Rigged games of poker, the lot. Of like simple table-based cons.
Yeah.
Once I left home, this is how I made money. Cheating people. I lied. I cheated.
Let me try the ball in the cup game.
Sorry?
I want to try the ball in the cup game. I've always heard so much about it, but we never had it at home. I want to try it.
Yareth will put ball under a cup, show the ball, show the other 2 cups that are empty, and then with his best sleight of hand as he can, just mix them up so much, and then...
Contested sleight of hand and perception, please. Yareth, you may have advantage because you are used to this.
Sweet.
Fleet is
20.
staring forward, like as close to the cups as she can without being in the way.
You pick a cup.
It's that one, 100%. It's that one. I know. One on the far right. Absolutely.
Yareth reveals the one on the far left has the ball in it.
What? 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 Huh?
Hello. I am a confidence trickster. It's what I've done for a long time now, Fleet.
That's
I know them all.
good.
If you were to point out someone in the street, I could probably get 50 gold off them if I tried hard enough. I have lied for as long as I have known to get money out of people.
Most people don't.
Okay, I just pulled 50 gold out of my ass. I could probably get a good amount of gold out of anyone that you point out. When I go off on my own in the past towns, I've conned people for their money. I think I probably have some of the most money in this group because I con people. I lie. I cheat. And that's why I like being honest with guards when they ask me about my life outside of this, so that people, I'm not on their radar.
Well, I mean, that makes sense.
And that's why I'm being honest with the guards about what we're doing in Cathania. There are people out there that don't like me, so if I can make that as few people as possible, I appreciate it.
Well, for what it's worth, I like you, and I think the rest of us do too.
I haven't conned you.
I mean, you just did.
That we know of.
I mean, you just did.
I haven't conned you for money.
All right. Fleet slaps 10
we
gold
know
down on the
of.
table.
He seemed to have substantial bags under his eyes, Yareth.
Sorry?
He does seem to have substantial bags under his eyes, does Yareth?
Mm-hmm. He's doing his best to not show it, but...
Alright, you haven't called me for money yet. Fleet slaps 10
No.
gold down on the table. Go again.
No.
No? Come on. I think I can beat you this time.
That's how it starts, Fleet. No.
Look.
You say one time, I bet I can win. Here's 10 gold. Or a few copper. Then it gets more. And you lie again. Or you bet again. And it just keeps going.
Well...
And soon, believe you me, it will end up to be a big old cheat and a big old bet.
Well, frankly, the money don't mean too much to me. You'll probably spend it better than I will. And I trust you with my money. Which is why
Fleet,
I'm perfectly
I
fine
am
with
not
this.
conning you out of your money.
Yeah, you're not. I'm offering you my money. So now let's play the game.
And I'm saying no. I will play the game with you. I'm not taking money from you.
Phoenix will walk up behind Fleet, pop down the pouch that Fleet gave him with the 125 gold, just look at Yareth and say, try it.
I'm not doing this for money with any of you.
You said you'd be taking money from us. Try it.
Fine. Since you insist. And we'll try the balls again.
Yareth rolls
yeah.
a natural 1 on his sleight of hand.
What do you get?
Total of 5.
All right.
Anyone paying attention to Phoenix will see that he seems to be very intently concentrating on the balls. It doesn't look like he's trying to track their movement. He's just intently focusing on them.
Fleet is only looking at the balls.
All right. Perception, Fleet, please.
See, I got you that
I'm
time.
absolutely confident it's the middle.
See, I got you that time. It's in the middle. I saw it.
Not down the left and right ones, there is no balls. Not down the middle one, there is a ball.
See, I told you. I got you that time.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Ash is just watching the whole thing with great amusement, but she's not partaking.
Fleet will
Phoenix will pick the pouch back up and go, okay, now I feel like I've actually earned this.
Fleet will take the 10 gold back with a big smile on her face. I trust you, Yareth. You might say that you lie a lot, but to a probably far greater extent than I should, I trust you. So when you say you want to tell the guards the truth, I trust that decision.
Thank you.
All right. So you finish your breakfast, and a lizard folk guard will enter the what's the word? Tavern. There you go. Oh my god, I'm so out of it tonight.
Gareth would be sure to have put away all con materials before
Sure.
guards come in.
You walk up to the barman, and he'll kind of say a few words, and he'll point over towards you, and the lizard will kind of make his way over. Hello. You will be required to attend the captain at the barracks today at 2 o'clock.
I think that's fine.
Beautiful.
I don't think we've got anything else planned. There's Ash with not a hint of irony.
No, it did. You're going to babysit us until then?
No. You can't just turn and leave.
Well, looks like we're in it for the long haul.
What? Sorry. Yeah.
You awake there, Gareth?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
You look
Well-
a little more tired than usual. I mean, you always look a little tired, but now you got a bit more.
Just a rough night. It's fine.
All right.
Looks like you went to bed without a drink for the first night in a while.
That might have been it. Sorry about last night. I just got frustrated.
It's fine. You got your reasons.
Happens to the best of us.
Did I miss anything important?
Apparently something big's going on down south, but we don't really know what it is.
Ash found a paramour.
A what?
Oh.
Had a secret little tryst over in the corner of the bar.
That is not what happened.
Wait, what's a paramour?
I mean, good for you, Ash. If you want.
No.
Brilliant.
That is not what happened. No, there is some.
There's
some orc stuff going on in the big tribes. That's all.
Yeah, plenty of orc stuff. You should have heard her Ash talking about things rising in the south. Fine, just the euphemisms were flying.
Felix,
you would have loved it.
I'm so confused. What's a paramour?
A paramour is a lover.
Oh. Well, I mean, it could have been.
No. Why? What have I done to you, Felix?
Phoenix is like no insight check required. He's clearly taking the piss and.
Shitposter 101.
Actually, no. You can insight if you like.
I will, but it'll be shit.
Superficially, it looks like he.
Hey.
I say it'll be shit. You have a +2.
His eyes keep glancing to Yareth. You get the feeling he might be purposefully taking the piss for Yareth's benefit. Yareth does look tired.
Right. What's the plan for today? Up till 2 o'clock at the very least.
Well, we got a few hours to waste.
I was going to say, do we know where the barracks is? Because if not, I suggest finding that first.
Oh, you can have a ask around. It's not hard to find on purpose. It's kind of towards the centre of town.
Sweet.
Great. Any particular plans before then?
Yeah, Phoenix will check in at the bar. See if
Yeah,
he'll check in at the bar.
So it's the same lizard folk barman as before. Hello. What can I do for you?
Hey, been hearing there was some sort of scuffle last night. Know anything about that?
I heard rumors that there was an incident at the Mazoth Theatre. Did you not ask me about it?
We did. That's why I was so interested when I heard something big went down there.
I see. There are rumors about a certain summoning that went wrong with the ritual. Apparently a few people died. It seems that some members of the public were able to help the gods in stopping it.
Interesting. All world.
I love that Phoenix always asks about the thing he's been involved in, and is then like, "No reason I'm asking." Ho! Cracks me up.
I don't know.
He just wants to be famous. That's what.
Oh, like he said, he's just curious to see how events he has personally
rumors
been
have been spread. I know.
Makes sense.
Yeah, then he'll catch up with the other and go. I don't know about you guys, but I finally have a bit of money that I'm finally comfortable with spending.
I mean, I'm always happy to look around. Not much I really need to spend on.
Odds and ends, ink and paper. Probably wouldn't be interested.
When don't you need ink and paper?
You do seem to go through it a lot. Is that a writer thing? Is that like what you do with your contracts and your letters thing?
It helps, but no, it's a very specific kind of ink, magically infused. Not rare exactly, just a cut above the common scrivener's ink.
Oh, is it what you used to put it in that book of yours?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, I saw some people down at QU do that, but I never understood why.
It's
Magic shit,
personal, I
innit?
think. Every wizard has their own mark, every signature. You can't just go around, pick up someone else's work and cast it.
Yeah.
You gotta put your own touch on it.
Hell,
Make sure it's comfortable for you.
I'm sure if Fennett's took a look at mine, he'd call it complete pigeon scratch.
And now Fleet is starting to wonder why she's never seen Gareth pick up ink and paper if he's also a wizard.
Fleet's
Bamboozled.
got a big brain.
Yeah, Phoenix, I'll join you on that. It's always good to have company when you're out and about.
Yeah, so Phoenix will spend the next couple hours just looking out for the right kind of inks, papers, kind of point out the differences to Fleet.
I mean, it's just you can definitely find it. It won't even be that hard.
But like I said, it would just be kind of a way to pass the time because we don't seem to have really anything else to do. He'll pick up
Hey,
about
Ash.
100 gold's worth of appropriate materials.
Sure.
Fancy doing Lost until 2 o'clock.
Sounds good to me.
Cool.
All right. Are you literally just intending to wander around?
We're doing
and
an Ash
happen
special.
to
We're going to
be-
get lost. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you intending on wandering around and happening to be in the right place at 2 o'clock? Is that the plan?
Yes. And
So
Yareth will
Ash,
attempt
Ash
to get a
will be
pity back.
taking a little bit more attention to where she is because she knows it's important that they're in the right place at the right time. But yeah, she just wants to have a wander. As Yareth is offering.
Is Yareth helping her do this?
Yareth is
Or is he
attempting
just
to ask
training
for a
behind?
Yareth is attempting to ask for a pity back, and will then attempt to help while being sleepy.
All right. Survival with advantage then, because you're being helped.
Hell yeah. This is my shit. I'm gonna roll a 1 now. I'm probably gonna roll 2 1s.
Yeah,
Not
so you
bad.
kind of explore the city better. You kind of you're able to find your way back to some of the breweries you passed by last night. You get a better look at them during the day. They seem to be a lot busier. You see a lot of activity. Mostly kobolds seem to be operating them. Oh, there are a few humans and stuff. Yes, as you kind of get in close towards the city, it becomes a bit more less industrial, more kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Artisanal, I guess. So you get kind of glassmakers, smiths, that kind of thing, instead of kind of more en masse like the breweries are. Yes, you will eventually make your way towards the barracks for 2 o'clock. You arrive just a little bit before because I assume you're actually somewhat punctual. The barracks themselves is it's a reasonably large building. It's kind of it's. I'm trying to think of the word what the word I'm looking for. It's basically a mini castle. It looks like push come to shove, a small number of people could defend it somewhat well. Yeah. As you kind of make your way inside, there will kind of be a little reception area. Behind which there is a lizard folk, kind of just seemingly a receptionist basically, and you'll kind of after a small waiting line, you'll kind of want to give you a name to be told to wait. I assume you all eventually arrive.
I don't think any of us are planning on dipping.
Nope.
No, after picking up supplies, Phoenix and Fleet would just chat, walking around the city.
All right.
Never really got the opportunity to just talk one-on-one.
No, not particularly. Pretty often just part of the group, huh?
Yeah.
Speaking of, do we need a name? I know all the stories always talk about when there's a group of people, they always have a name of some kind. Something that people know them for. Do we need one?
Kind of implies we're known when, our job kind of relies on us not being. Although it's funny you mentioned that when I was talking about rumors last night, it was did cross my mind. As you said, it helps the story, doesn't it? Putting a name to a thing.
I guess.
I don't know what you'd call this.
Oh wait, I'm not with you guys. No, ignore me. Continue.
Urashi materializes out of thin air.
Ash knows how to teleport.
Most of what we seem to do is... What would you even call us? Most of what we seem to do is just a happy accident.
I mean, that's not a bad name. Happy accident.
No.
I'm sorry, our fucking party name is not going to be the Happy Accidents. Absolutely fucking not.
I mean, I was called that for a little while, at least.
Fuck!
I mean, my family didn't really expect me to show up. I was just sort of... hard to remember. Dropped off? Given?
Oh, I can imagine. What? Really got the chance. What do you remember about that fleet? How did you wind up to Gacecia of all people?
Well, it's...
So far from anything that could be reasonably called Drow's home.
I don't know. Well, I kind of know, but I don't really. If I think real hard, I sit down and I meditate and I put my mind to it. Something's there. Think of my mom. But...
You mind if I try something? And I feel free to say no. This is super intrusive. And honestly, if someone suggested it to me, I'd tell them to go shove it up their ass. But I know a few techniques to help with your memory and a bit of magic that helps me see other people's. Maybe. And I don't know. If I took a look, I might be able to remember a bit better than you do.
Wow, that's a lot.
It's just an offer. I understand it's intrusive. Nobody really wants anyone spelunking around in their mind, and it's probably just I still feel like you gave me all that money for no reason. I hate feeling indebted.
Fleet's hand just immediately climbs up to her necklace, and she's just holding onto it very tightly. Maybe after this whole guard business is done, just give me some time to think about it. Because that's, that's a lot. I mean, part of the reason I want to be out here in Cathania is I want to look for him, but now you're telling me you might just be able to find him?
I'm not making any promises. Memory's always a funny thing. It's not like just diving into a picture book. I've really only recently picked up this bit of magic. I've seen similar stuff used. Never really had the opportunity to try it out myself, and the mind is a delicate thing. There shouldn't be any kind of dangers. It's all very well understood practice magic, but I'm rambling. The offer's there.
The offer is appreciated, and yeah, let's go over it more when we're done with the guards. Yeah, just a lot to think about.
Sure. I mean, I won't lie and say my own curiosity isn't involved here. You are a unique specimen.
That's certainly a word for it.
Almost time for that meeting. We should hurry up, otherwise we get told
yeah.
off by Yareth.
Yeah. Let's go.
All right. So you will eventually make your way to the barracks, and come a little after 2:00. The Dragonborn captain will make his way into the reception area. He says, I thank you all for coming, for your time. I would like to speak to you all one by one. I will start with... the Delau. He kind of turns and he expects you to follow behind him.
Please,
So
a bit distracted, but all
rest
of
of the
them.
session doing one-on-one interviews. I'll assume you'll give broadly the same, a basic story. So if you could basically recap that, and then we'll do a small amount of one-on-one alone, basically just you and me, and the stream. But shh.
Oh.
Only for a few minutes, so you're not sat around not doing anything for extended periods, hopefully. But,
well,
general story. What are you saying? So you can have a moment to discuss this, because you would have.
So what is our general story? We're on a mission from the church, and if they need confirmation, it'll be here soon.
I think so.
We were tasked with finding a few rare items, which is going to take us through Gacecia, and...
As far as Guxnum is concerned, we were passing through, no particular interest, except the rest of you would say that Phoenix had a bit of interest here, and Phoenix would say, I had a bit of interest here, but nothing involved with our job. And then as far as the actual night went, we were watching, we paid to get in, something seemed to go wrong, something went wrong, and we stepped in to minimize the damage. All true.
Yeah, that seems fine by me. The stop is mostly just for convenience, just to have a town between here and the next, and not be traveling across just open wasteland.
I'm happy with that.
All right. So, so at the beginning of your interviews, you'll kind of go over these generic questions, and then he will ask some more specific stuff. So we'll start off with Fleet. So, can the three of you move to the other Discord channel? I will let you know.
Into the waiting room you go.
Yeah.
And there were two.
Yeah, so you're kind of escorted into this little room. He'll kind of sit you down. He seems to have a kind of bit of parchment and kind of almost a medieval clipboard that he's kind of, jotting notes down on, stuff like that. It's just the two of you, though. All right. So, he'll kind of ask you the basic questions. I assume you answer truthfully.
Yeah, I'm not trying to cover anything too much.
Yeah. Fleet of foot, I believe.
Yes, that's correct.
What is Tabaxi in origin?
Yeah, I grew up out in the Badlands.
Curious. How does a Delau of a Tabaxi name growing up in the Badlands? That is an interesting story. What is going on there?
Well, it's kind of hard to remember, because I was so young when it happened, but, I think my mom dropped me off with, a Tabaxi village, and I just sort of grew up there. They gave me a name, and I never really questioned it. I mean, it seemed normal enough to me.
So, was this when you were a baby? When you were a toddler?
I was very young. I don't know if you would call it baby or toddler, but it's certainly not, not older than 2, maybe? Although that's... Yeah, no older than 2, which for half-elves is even younger than usual.
I see. Now, you say, so you were raised by these Tabaxi. Who are they? Are they a family?
Yeah, they're family, but I don't really see how this is relevant.
I am building a character profile. As far as I am concerned, it is not likely that you are suspects, but it is not completely out of the question.
Okay, yeah.
I'm asking around. I have contacts done, Casimir. I have learned that you have made some small ways, and it is not completely out of the realms of possibilities. This is a stunt to build fame. So, as I say, character profile.
Well, I mean, I won't lie to you. Fame would not be the worst thing on Earth, but not like this. I'm getting famous. I want it to be for, well, living up to my name, being fast, not being a hero? I guess that would be the word. It's not what I need.
All right. Thank you very much for your time. Could you please send in the half-orc?
Okay. Sure. Yeah, I can do that. I will go get Ash.
All right. So just a moment. So, yeah, you'll kind of walk down the corridor. You'll find Ash, ask her, and I assume she will happily follow. All right.
Oh.
Headphones off, please, Britty, because that's how stream works.
That's how we gonna make it work.
Cool. All right.
Oh god, now I just feel like I'm being quizzed by the DM about how much I remember of our last few sessions, because my brain is liquid.
The whole point is we're not doing that because that would take forever us to do it for everyone.
Thank God.
So you are escorted into this kind of little interview room. It's just you and the Dragonborn, and he's kind of got this little clipboard type thing with questions.
Brilliant.
So, I have noticed you are half-orc, yes?
Yes.
You say you are coming up from the south. That is a bit of the journey from the plateau. Why this far west? Normally your kind tends to travel with more of their own. I am just curious.
Oh well, I don't know how much you know about us, but I was going on a hunt. I was a tracker. We went out hunting, and we were forced off the road by off our usual route anyway. By we couldn't get through, and the alternative route that we went took us through this sort of medium-sized town, mostly human. And I'd never been in such a place before, and so I decided to see more of those places. And then I bumped into this lot, and I've been helping the blonde one with her trade stuff since. Really, we all have.
I see. So, what happened to separate you?
It's been quite a while since I've been away.
So, what happened to separate you from your companion?
Which companion?
Those you originally went on the hunt with before you found your current.
Oh, no, I wasn't separated. We all went round, but then I went back.
I see. So you were returning to the plateau when you encountered these folks.
Well, I'm trying to think. No, what was I doing? Oh, so I left alone. We got back to our tribal homeland after the hunt, but I left and went out to this town and just kept going. Really, I didn't really know where I was going. I was just going from town to town, and then I bumped into this lot.
Nice. No late.
It doesn't make much sense, but it's how I'm here.
So you said you're a hunter?
Well, yes. I was anyway. I suppose I still am.
So do you have the experience hunting? Well, larger play. He does like the inverted commas, like the fire horses I heard the rumors about. It's generally smaller.
Well, it was mostly that kind of thing. So
nice.
Decently sized, but not enormous.
Yeah, from what I've heard,
I fought big things before.
From what I've heard, you are quite proficient at fighting the big things.
Thank you.
You might possibly consider that as a further career. Hey, thank you. Could you please send in the gnome?
Yes, of course. Thank you.
Hello. You'll be guided into this kind of small little kind of interviewing room. It's just you and the dragon one, there's nobody else. And he's kind of basically seemingly asking questions and taking notes on this kind of little clipboard thing. The quill is decidedly too small for his decidedly large hand.
Cool.
So I'll kind of ask you the generic questions. So, you say you are Knucklestamp?
Sebastian Lieb von Knucklestamp, yes, that is I.
I see. Is that a noble house.
Yes, from the QU region.
I see. It is highly curious. We have relatively decent documents about most of the nobility in at least the western part of Gaecia. I decided to do a quick cross-reference last night. I did not see Knuckle Stump anywhere. Did your family recently come into wealth?
Fairly recently, yes. Last few months to a year.
Last few months, and you've already acquired so many names.
Well, when we went up, it was just sort of expected of just give ourselves a couple of names.
I see. What was your fortune?
Property.
Property? What property?
Just houses around the. You know I'm lying, don't you?
It is not the most convincing of stories, no.
Yareth takes a big sigh. My name is Yareth Dimbuckle, and I come from the QU region. That's true.
Right. Why are you pretending to be a noble?
That is a very good question. I suppose more just trying to get my way in the world. The nobility always seemed to do well, and so lie.
Identity fraud is considered somewhat
Is it identity
abominable.
fraud? Is it identity fraud if I'm pretending to be
Your identity is fraudulent. It does not exist. It seems fraudulent, unless I'm misunderstanding the term.
I assumed that identity fraud was when you were trying to pretend to be someone else who exists. My apologies.
As I say, it is not taken kindly here in Gacecia. You say you have just arrived. My understanding is not as of yet performed any business. You have performed a service to the city. Stop pretending. You may pass freely. If I hear rumors, and I will be keeping a close eye to the ground, that you are continuing to pretend to be someone you are not, I will have to take steps, including informing the authorities back at QU that there is a supposed new house wandering around, and I'm sure they have their own laws that they might wish to extend to you. I might not be able to pursue you beyond the borders of Gacecia, but I believe Q will be able to pursue you beyond the borders of QU.
Sure. Can you just... I know you have to keep it official, but could you not tell my friends? I'd appreciate telling them myself.
I do not lie when asked.
Well, hopefully they'd have no reason to ask.
We shall see. Send in a Ganassi.
Will do. Yareth will go to the door and just take a moment to console himself.
Yep.
Step out. And then just, yeah.
Alright. So after Yareth leaves, you'll be escorted into this. It's kind of a little interview room. It's kind of just you and the Dragonborn. And he's kind of got this little clipboard that he seems to be asking questions from, taking notes down on. So after he kind of does the generic stuff. So, you are magic user? How would you describe yourself?
Arcanist, I guess, although wizard might be the preferred term.
I see. And so it's not innate, it is something you have studied.
I mean, on Ganassi, we all have a bit of innate magic. I never really explored it, though, before learning my talents.
So you did learn.
Mostly self-taught. I had a bit of help along the way, but yeah.
Ah, that is interesting. My understanding is there is generally some sort of tutor, but my knowledge of your people is, at least within the borders of this country, that they might struggle to access this kind of tutor. How did you come to study? I guess.
By not being a part of my people, I guess. I left Gathania.
I see. Where did you go?
South, traveled through Hirana a bit. Met some folks, did a bit of work. Going, traveled through Wythe. Found someone who was able to put up with me a while. They gave me some pointers, a bit of a start, and then I mostly just kind of worked on it.
So you got a start in Wither, yes? That is where you actually taught.
I guess, if you want to call it that, yeah.
I see.
I guess my first introduction with magic was Gathania, still. One of the first towns I went through, there was I don't even know what you'd call them, traveling show, peddlers. It was the first time I'd seen it, so caught my interest. I'd always been a bit of a bookworm, I guess. Whatever we could get. And then it itched in the back of my mind. So I saw an opportunity later on, and I took it.
So would you say that your style of magic is at least inspired by the elvish forms? Or would you say it is more?
I think if I said yes, that would be one hell of an insult to the person who first showed me it. She definitely wouldn't consider it as much. She'd probably look at what I do and consider it like a cockroach trying to stand up and be a human. Yeah, I guess early work probably resembled elvish stuff. I like to think I've put a bit of my own spin on it, but
so your magic is quite unique, you believe?
Seems arrogant to assume so, but I haven't met another Ganassi arcanist, so I guess I can only say yeah.
Interesting. He kind of takes a few more notes. I would be careful of that. Many people, well, not many, some might be interested. Someone was able to get so far on their own. And my understanding is new ideas, when applied to old ones, can lead to innovation. So you might, if you get powerful enough, acquire somewhat of a following of your work. You might find people interested.
Well, wouldn't that be novel?
Well, I'm sure it would be. You seem like the man who might not take kindly to an apprentice.
They're more than welcome to ask. I'll give them the same consideration my own mentor gave me.
That is really noble. All right, thank you. Sending the ASMR said we will not really do that because they're not here. Right. Let me ask everybody back.
This is when we find out Althea screwed us all over.
Oh yeah, I just NPC'd her. She was like,
"Hello,
yeah.
my bitches."
Hello. All right. So after Phoenix is actually no, sorry, Althea was last. After Althea is kind of escorted out of the interviewing room, the Dragonborn will kind of captain, sorry, will kind of not you all. Thank you all very much for your time. This investigation will be carrying on. I do not believe that you are necessarily involved with a couple of slight suspicions, but I must ask you to remain in the city for at least the time being, just in case. You will not be followed. I will not post guards. However, if you do leave the city, You will not be welcome back in. Ever. Well, you would be welcome, but you will be welcome to stay in my jail cell.
Where can we drop
That
off
seems
the
fairly reasonable.
note from the Church of Esme?
Bring it here. Head into the receptionist when you receive it.
Was if it's not too pertinent a question, was Mazoth given the same order?
No. He is staying somewhere a bit more secure. I would ask that you do not attempt to speak with him yet. As I say, you are not completely free of suspicion, and neither is he. I would not like colluding.
Of course.
While we're here, is there anything we can do to help with your investigation?
He kind of smiles. I do not believe so. This is a state matter. Any outside interference might be taken the wrong way.
Fair enough.
Well, it was a pleasure speaking with you. So,
Yeah.
All right, you are free to go.
Thank you for your time.
cool.
Right. As you are loosed once more into the streets of Gaecia, I believe we'll take a quick break there. We'll be back in 5-10 minutes with the rest of the session.
Hell yeah.
Depending on how long the break goes, I might be gone by the time we all return.
That's all right.
Because I gotta go to work.
Imagine working.
Chat,
No,
if the
grim.
if the interlude says 15 minutes, it really means 10.
Yes. All right.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Mostly by you.
I mean, that's true. All right. Hello, everybody.
Just excuse the DM insulting me. Thanks, everyone.
Welcome back
You
to
know
our.
what?
Nothing to do with the
Punch me
fact
in
that
the
I'm the
face.
DM. It's
Come
to
back
do
to
with
our
the fact that I've known you for like 10 years. Is it 10
Oh,
years?
that's scary, isn't it? Jesus
Yeah,
Christ,
we were
sure
11,
is.
so it must be 10 years.
Oh, wow.
That's
Uh,
horrifying.
Hello, and welcome back to Roll With It. We just had a quick break, before which,
The
yeah,
DM
the
abused
party
his
was,
players.
yeah, where the party had a little interview with the captain of the investigation. And so as you kind of step out of the barracks, who has the highest passive perception?
It's not
Okay.
going to be me.
I've got
Oh,
15.
definitely Gareth.
I've got 15.
15?
How much do you have, Yareth?
No, I have like 9.
I have 14.
Okay, we'll go with 15 because Matt isn't quite back, and I don't think Phoenix has that great a perception.
The DM.
11. There you go. All right.
I am the highest.
Imagine not having wisdom as a dump stat.
Hey, I need wisdom.
So as you step out of the barracks, where would you be immediately going? What would be your first direction that you start walking?
I
Gareth
assume.
wants.
Honestly, we'd probably just stop in the street and talk about where we were about to go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would say while it was only a handful of minutes in out of character, it would probably be in like an hour and a half in game. So it's probably 2:30-ish about now as you were stepping out.
Gareth would want to have gone back to Merryweather.
Yeah, I think going back to Merryweather is not a bad idea.
Apparently, we've got jack all to do. Sit there and twiddle our thumbs.
Well, we
Alright.
can figure out what we want to do when we get there.
So as you start making your way back towards the leaky barrel, Fleet, you notice a hooded figure at the corner of your eye. They start to stir as you kind of step out of the barracks. You don't take much; they kind of they just seem to be stretching as you kind of look a bit closer. But as you start to walk out of the kind of little street that the barracks is on, you notice as they turn and they start to follow you at a covert distance.
Hey, y'all, let's take a different path back to the tavern. I think the main roads are going to be a bit blocked up.
Is this another one of your attempts to just get lost in the city?
No, I'm not the one who gets lost. That's Ash. I just want to take a different path.
Ash, the tracker who gets lost on purpose. Hell yeah!
And you rolled a 17 on your exploration to get here. I'm going to say you probably think of a more back road route to get back to the town, Urashi, with your 17.
Excellent. Thank you.
And are we
We will
still
do
being
that then.
followed on this now not going on the main road path?
As I say, it's kind of fast, so you kind of have to be kind of half looking over your shoulder. So it is a bit suspect that you're kind of looking. But as you kind of get towards the end of one alley, just as you're turning to the next, you'll notice this figure kind of turn and see you. They do seem to still be following you, as I say, at quite a distance.
Fleet will just say in a very low voice, we're being followed. I'm pretty sure it's one of the guards, but it might not be. Just keep your eyes peeled.
Oh, joy. Okay.
Why would I want to peel my eyes?
It's an expression.
See, that's an expression I understand.
Oh.
Keep your eyelids back so you're always looking.
I don't want to peel my eyelids. That would hurt.
Just
But
keep
I
a look.
think I understand what you're saying.
I mean, as you carry on making your way back, the figure continues to follow you.
And it doesn't look like they're signaling to anyone about anything. They're just keeping an eye on us.
Active perception, please.
Fuck it up!
Now you've told them, someone could help you if you like. Ooh,
Didn't
might
fuck it
not
up.
be today. Yeah, 23. No, you don't think. They seem to be signaling. It seems to be just them.
It looks like they're alone, so I think we should be fine if they try to start any trouble.
Awesome. Sounds great.
Right. So,
I'm sure they're riveted by our adventures through the city.
I think we just head back to the tavern to figure out what the hell we do next.
yeah, the figure will kind of just seemingly follow you the entire way, and you make it into the tavern. Yeah, you're now in. You could probably catch a bite to eat or something. It's not too busy, or there's probably a couple of figures in it.
Cool. Once we get in, Yareth will just say, could we all chat upstairs, please?
Yeah, upstairs in private I think is the best call. And Phoenix will put a delay on what you had planned.
Sure.
Okay. I guess we go upstairs with Gareth then.
Into Yareth's room, because...
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Oh yeah, you can follow upstairs into his room. That's more than doable.
Yeah. Gareth, what's the matter?
How'd everyone's meetings go? Chaps?
Mine went fine.
Fine, yeah.
They just asked a few personal questions. I was a bit confused.
They asked me what someone of my kind was doing up here, and I told them. It was fairly easy.
Phoenix?
Just seemed interested in my magical background.
Cool.
Not a secret.
Riley, is Yareth sounding as strained as you are right now?
Mm-hmm. Yareth, just sitting down on the foot of the bed, just takes off his top hat, puts it on the bed.
Oh my god, the top hat's come off. This is the first time I think I've seen the top of Yareth's head.
Yeah, I was going to
You
say,
see this
what the top of Yareth's
every
head looks
time. He's taken it off multiple times. The sewers, for one.
Doesn't matter, every time I'm like, oh, he's still got the back of the head.
Oh, Christ. Give me a second.
It's about to get serious.
Phoenix will just walk over to the door, open it, check the corridor. Not like surreptitiously, just kind of walk out, do a bit of a stretch.
You kind of walk out, have a stretch, like, oh, yeah. As you look down, the corridor seems to be empty.
Cool. He'll summon Moat. Is there like a window at the end of the corridor, or?
Yeah, there's probably a window.
He'll just send Moat to kind of sit on the windowsill. Then walk
It's
back
not
in.
open, but you can like sit by it. You sure?
I mean, like the
do
inside
anything, or just sit there.
internal windowsill, just to sit on the window, not looking out the window, looking into the corridor.
Sure.
Then walk back into the room.
So, he asked me about my past and my family. And turns out he'd done a little bit of digging into my family name, which doesn't exist.
Is this when we find out you're not really a lord?
Yep.
Phoenix does not look shocked.
My name is Yareth.
Dave!
Yareth, and in case the accent isn't obvious, his voice distinctly changes from the posh voice that I've been doing this whole time to a slightly, I'm trying for a more Irish twang. Yareth Dimbuckle. I am not of noble descent at all. I have been lying to you from the day we met, and for many a time before then, as my biggest con was that of the blind noble, who claims to be a noble and does not have any money to get home, but if you can lend him some and give your address, then then I will definitely send you 20 times that once I get back home to safety.
People fall for that?
Surprisingly so, my friend.
They deserve to lose their money if that's so.
No, they don't.
I mean, that story's so sad.
And that's why it works.
It would work on Fleet.
Fleet, it's called a confidence trick for a reason. I lie, and I've lied. I cannot remember the last time I told the truth to the fullest extent. Hello, this is me. This is the real me.
Well, I mean, I hope that the last time you can remember is right now.
Yes, this is true. But yes, my real name is Yareth Dimbuckle. I come from a very, very ordinary line. And I was told explicitly, if I keep using that name, I'll be arrested.
Dimbuckle?
No. I was told today, if I kept using Gareth Sebastian Leap for Knuckle Stamp, which has always sounded ridiculous, why would that be believable? I was told that if I ever use that again while in Cathania, then he would hunt me down, arrest me if he could, and if I used it outside of Cathania, he would notify people at QU, potentially getting me arrested there, or my family. And even though things have happened, I can't have that. So hello, this is me.
Wait,
Yareth is
There's
basically
nothing
crying.
wrong with ordinary Yareth.
I know.
wait,
but-
hang on. We should have been able to figure this out. Dimbuckle, your little Adam thing?
Yep.
Suddenly that makes
Yeah,
so much more
well,
sense.
DM having fun than anything. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, but then we do have a character with a broken tooth whose surname is Broke Tooth, so it doesn't seem like a huge leap.
And a
I
fast
guess.
character named Fleet of Foot, so.
Also, lads, I've got to go in like less than 5 minutes,
Oh,
but
great.
I can hang until we reach a natural point.
Well, I'm perfectly fine with Yareth Dimbuckle. That's no problem to me, and I appreciate you telling us the truth now.
Cool.
Just so Nat doesn't feel too left out there would say something to the effect of, Yareth, we...
Althea voice cracks me up, Matt.
We don't care where you come from or if you're ordinary. We didn't know you when you were Von Knuckle Stamp, and she'll kind of chuckle at the name. Dimbuckle or otherwise, we've only ever known you as Gareth. That's my Nat insertion for the session.
And to be fair,
Welcome, buddy.
Yareth is, even if not always telling the truth, pretty fine gentleman.
I mean, I thought that all lords did was, be regular people who wore hats, so you seem to be doing okay.
Buddy, I didn't think you were a lord the first time you said it. This is not a surprise.
There you go, Yareth, that went okay, didn't it?
I mean, the confidence tricks is interesting.
I mean,
Kind of gave the game away when you said you were a confidence trickster.
I won't lie, he had me fooled. If he had told me the rest of this journey that he was Levon Knuckle Stamp, I would have believed it.
Wait, my darling, that's not hard.
Ow.
I mean, honestly, the name's not the most surprising thing here. Like I've only run into a few gnomes in my travels, and more than a few have had their peculiarities regarding their names.
Oh, and we're missing the most important thing of all. Gareth, you're very obviously not ordinary. You know why?
Don't patronize me.
No, this isn't patronizing.
Patronize.
God damn it.
That's just what I was thinking.
This isn't patronizing. You see that belt buckle that they gave you? I don't think they would give that to just an ordinary nobody, would they? I mean, obviously it does something, it means pretty dang special.
Just
Right, there's a conversation that Ash needs to have with Yareth that I think will make him feel better, but unfortunately, I've got to go and make some money.
That's all right.
You go and make your money. I'm sure this conversation can happen soon.
Conversation will happen at some point.
I might try and wrap a bit early because 2 players down ain't ideal. Say,
Sorry, broskies.
It's all
No,
good.
that's all right. You have a job. Like,
You have to make
Unfortunately.
money. Ew, how awful.
all right.
Right.
Bye,
Thanks,
Lumie.
everyone. I'm leaving now. Goodbye, friends.
Bye, Lumie.
Ciao.
Yareth, I don't speak for everyone. We don't mean to play this. Maybe it's different for other people. I've known you for like, what, a month now? It's harsh. I'm not Fleet. I barely consider us friends. He'll kind of look around and just go, again, no offense. I barely consider you all really friends. That's more a me thing. I've never really had friends.
I get it. Just as long as you know your family to me.
Yeah. This might be a big reveal for you. I don't know how long this has been going on. I don't know how long you've been pretending. I don't know what that does to people. I've never seen a point in being
I
anything other.
don't know who I am. I never have. I have been lying from the moment that I could. I have no idea who I am or what that makes me. I'm not even a fucking wizard. I woke up being able to cast spells one day. If you don't think that this is important because don't consider me my friend, then you can just fuck off out of this room. And Yareth just collapses onto the bed.
Fleet just sits down next to him, puts a hand on his shoulder. This is important for you. I don't know if Phoenix gives
Fuck
it.
off. Leave me be for now. I don't want sympathy or anything.
Not yet. I understand that this means a lot to you. And, as I've mentioned before, you all are family to me. And if there's more that has to be said, or more that has to be done, or something that I can do to help you in any way, and this ain't sympathy, this is a friend helping a friend. Because that's what they do.
Phoenix will listen to this for a moment and then nod and just leave the room.
I know Phoenix can be a bit harsh. But I think everybody in this traveling group, party, whatever you call us, everybody here has something up with them. I mean, you say you don't know who you are. I don't know where I came from. Phoenix has his own set of issues with where he comes from. I think we all kind of understand. So I think we can help each other, at the very least.
Fleet, just go.
All right.
I'll see you later.
You need anything, don't hesitate to knock on my door. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
She just pats him on the head very gently and walks off to go find Phoenix.
Where are you, Phoenix?
Moat will still be sitting on the windowsill. Not hard to spot. Little flaming bird. Phoenix is down in the bar.
Oh yeah, you can find him in the bar. That's not a good hiding spot.
Wasn't
All
raining.
right.
Yeah,
So
I know. I'm just saying.
it seems like this is a night for revealing things. Let's do it. I want to know
Sure.
if you can find anything.
Like a interesting night for it. Phoenix will look around the bar. Does he spot figure who seemed to be trailing them?
I mean, they were in a cloak. As in like a hooded cloak. No one here is in a hooded cloak. Eh? I mean,
Probably
you can't
not.
be sure.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, time like the present.
Or the
We'll move
past.
We'll move over to one of the booths.
Sure.
All right. So again, I've never done this, but in theory, it's just focus on what memories you have. Anything.
Okay.
Far back as you can reach.
Fleet shuffles and uncomfortably shifts into a meditative position and just closes her eyes and takes very deep, slow breaths. And is just focusing very hard on that image of her mom that she is pretty sure she remembers.
Sure.
And Phoenix will cast Detect Thoughts.
Cool. Could you pop it in the chat? Up in chat just for posterity. So it lasts 1 minute. You thought cast spell. One creature. Do you have an intelligence of less than 3?
No, my intelligence is
Okay.
a 12.
All right. I'm just making sure I get it right. To its reasoning, emotional state, something that looms large in its mind. Right. Questions targeted to create naturally shape the course of its thoughts. All right. Okay. So, as you kind of, what does it look like when you cast this spell? Actually,
A good question.
Phoenix will raise a hand, and a little kind of snake, not an actual snake, just a little tendril of fire will briefly kind of circle his index finger. It'll kind of lash out quite suddenly. It'll look like it will kind of bore into Fleet's head. But it won't. It'll just kind of pass straight through. Probably feel quite warm.
yeah. All right.
Then he'll just close his eyes and focus on what Fleet is thinking about.
Right. So you kind of focus your mental position kind of down along your arm into your finger and then across this kind of tendril of flame connecting the two of you. Kind of at the other end, you get this image, the same one as Fleet, this face of a drow woman. They seem relatively plain. Their kind of white hair is kind of tied up in a bun behind their head. They seem to be youngish, but then it's an elf. It's kind of difficult to judge age. And yeah, it's kind of the images of presumably from the point of view of the babe kind of being placed in some sort of doorway, so you can kind of see like the door frame kind of behind this figure. They're dressed in kind of common clothing, and you can see the sky outside is it is very dark, and in fact there seems to be a lightning strike that is somewhat kind of silhouetting the woman, so you can't make out a great deal of features, but you might be able to pick them out of a lineup. Would you like to investigate further?
Yes.
All right. You kind of focus your will harder, and you kind of feel yourself, or your mind, I guess, kind of entering the kind of vaults of Fleet's mind. I assume you allow it to happen, Fleet?
Yeah, I want to know.
Yeah. So you choose to fail those and save. I need you to make me an investigation check. You can have advantage because Fleet is helping you. Or I assume Fleet is helping you.
I'm not gonna stop him, so yes, I
Yeah.
will help.
Alright. As Fleet is focusing on everything they know about their mother, and you are trying to probe around, you feel something in kind of a dark corner. Perhaps dark's the wrong word, perhaps deep is better. It's so incredibly far down. This kind of, you feel this kind of incredible sense of depth from where you are to wherever this kind of memory is. You kind of reach towards it, kind of stretching out your consciousness, and you kind of feel Fleet's mind almost in there with you, and you kind of guide it along, or it guides you, it's difficult to say, towards this deep dark pit. Fleet, you get the impression this is something you have never at least consciously experienced. As you reach it, something clicks. And you find yourself experiencing the memory almost as if you were there firsthand. Much like an image, you are a babe, kind of swaddled in cloth. And you're being held close to the chest of this kind of drow woman, the same as before. They are running. They seem to be running quite fast. They're constantly looking over their shoulders behind them as lightning cracks and it is raining torrentuously. And she holds you kind of closer to her chest to kind of shield you from the rain. There are voices. They don't sound particularly friendly. They seem to be what she is looking back towards. She kind of runs through the night for a length of time you can't really comprehend, or presume this infant's mind can't comprehend. And it seems that after you've journeyed for a while, you turn as the woman faces you kind of towards a house building looking thing. Fleet, you would recognize this as the kind of monastery you grew up in. The babe is kind of placed in the doorway. You have that image, that moment where you see the image that was the only picture Fleet could remember. And as you are left in this doorway, the woman turns back towards the shouting voices, which are getting louder and louder. And at this moment, she removes a locket from around her neck, tucks it in the swaddling cloth, along with a note. She takes one last moment to look at the babe. She kisses it on the forehead, turns and runs. And that is where the memory ends. You feel yourself kind of rushing backwards as you are kind of taken away from this memory. You both kind of jolt backwards in your booths, kind of suddenly sprung back into some form of sensibility. You take a moment to kind of adjust, and the noises of the bar kind of once more assault your senses, the smells, the noises.
Next will be visibly crying. He doesn't seem to notice that he is. Just kind of residual emotion from the memory.
Fleet is shaking. Oh, wow.
I'm not entirely certain that was supposed to happen.
That certainly wasn't expected.
I don't think this kind of magic usually has such a willing participant.
Yeah. I guess. So we saw the the same thing, right? She was running?
From something. Someone.
Something, someone. And this, she unclutches her hand as she's been holding onto her necklace the whole time. And a note that I don't remember. I have more questions than answers, I think.
Well, in my experience, he'll kind of wipe away the tears, having kind of just noticed them. Questions are a good thing. They mean there's still something to do.
There's a lot to do. And I wouldn't have been able to do it without you. She just reaches over the table and wraps up Phoenix in a massive hug. Thank you.
Yeah, like I said, no problem.
She's not letting go.
I guess you've got some questions for that. Is that a monastery?
Yeah, where I grew up. It was part of our daily lives. We worshipped, we prayed, and we trained. It was just how things were.
And there was a note.
A note that I've never seen before or never heard hide nor hair of, which is worrying to me, because that raises questions of my family lying to me? Did they hide it, or was it lost, or did it not contain anything important? Just Fleet will finally let go and sit back in her own seat. That's a lot. Again, thank you.
I mean, if it's not too much, and he seems to be kind of visibly kind of shoring himself back up. He just got a baby's load of emotions dropped into his socially maladjusted brain. There's I guess there's still one thing I could technically do.
There's more?
And he will cast Disguise Self and turn himself, to the best of his own considerable memory, Fleet's mother.
His keen mind.
Sure. As I say, it was through the eyes of the baby. It was a dark night. So it's by no means picture perfect, but it's definitely an approximation.
Fleet is just staring. There are no words coming out of her mouth. She is just staring.
I hope you don't mind if I don't hold this for too long. It feels weird.
You're also in a bar.
That's
You are probably getting a couple of weird looks.
That's a word for it. Yeah.
It's a small thing, and I'll shut up now. My voice coming out of you. I'll shut up now.
Yeah, that's certainly.
He'll hold the image for another minute or two.
You can let it go. I've got a lot to meditate on, and questions to ask myself and Tamalia and my family, and there's a lot. But again,
Yeah, seems like there's a lot of that going around right now.
Thank you. I don't think I know I could not have done that on my own.
And I've seen Fennec smile before, despite the joking. He does show amusement and occasionally slivers of happiness. Something more akin to a genuine smile will creep onto his face as he says, I remember the first time I saw magic. Real magic, not the show kids. And my first thought was, this is something that you can just do anything with. And God, I was such a kid. I just remember thinking how much good you could do with something like that. I'm just happy that I can do a bit of good with magic.
A bit is a bit of an understatement. I think because of you. Well, I don't know if I can find her, if she was on the run so far from home, but
She wasn't dead. She was still running. She might still be.
well, I hope she doesn't have to be running at this point. I hope she's found a bit more peace somehow, but that's above. There is so much that I want to say, but words are hard.
Where's your monastery, Fleet? Where's home?
For me?
Yeah.
It's out in the Badlands. It's like you saw, a monastery practically in the middle of nowhere. We're just a rest stop. We take in hired travelers and we send out into the world happy people.
Approximately here, I believe, is what we said.
Yeah, near enough to the Falthorn Woods.
It feels dumb to say. As much as I don't really want it to be true, I wasn't lying. I don't make friends easily, and I haven't known you guys for that long, but as I understand it, the hopes are that kind of laugh at his own unintended pun. We won't be at this forever. We'll eventually, hope.
Hopefully sooner rather than later.
There'll come a time when we aren't doing this.
Maybe we can find her. I mean, part of the reason I wanted to stop through so much in Cathania, take a bit more of a out-of-the-way route, was I was hoping to find...
I don't know the answer to that.
I was hoping to find a hint of her somewhere. Maybe something to do with this insignia, or someone who knew her, or anything, but...
Phoenix is gonna take a proper, the first time he's properly looked at the pendant that Fleet is wearing. There's an insignia on it.
Yes, it is a, let me pull up my notes so I don't fuck it up.
Yeah, I'm doing exactly the same.
Yes.
Where we got Fleet
Does, by sheer coincidence, does Phoenix recognize this insignia?
It is
okay, so it's a crest, so it's like a family crest. So it's a kind of golden locket, and kind of so it opens, and then so on the one side there is kind of a family crest. Intelligence.
Come on, man.
Yeah. So the actual crest, it is an arrow piercing a bleeding anvil, and it is not much of a logical jump to kind of make the link between the fact that Fleet is a drow, and this is the crest itself is possibly a reference to the events of the Titan Wars, when I think it's Faudemir Drow off the top of my head, took a pot shot towards Ulfgor, which ultimately led to his demise, hence arrow into the bleeding anvil, presumably representing the dwarves. In terms of a specific family it might tie to, you don't recognize it, but you do get some kind of the symbology behind it.
Sorry, I wish I had more for you in that regard, but I've only met a couple drow.
Yeah,
the same ones will presumably meeting in Falari, but
it was a bit of a long shot.
The only other thing I can say is, my gods, do not show that pendant to a dwarf.
Yeah, the more that I start to travel, the more I start to realize the jokes and stories about the dwarf and drow rivalry is bit closer to reality and maybe even a bit of an understatement.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who don't consider them jokes at all.
I mean, their god kind of died. All right.
If you
Unless there's...
don't mind, I've got a lot of process there myself. I think I'm gonna get to my room for a bit.
Yeah, I think it's a good time to turn in and take a while to just unpack everything that happened today.
Turn in.
Right.
I think it's 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
it's not yet tea time, but you had a busy day or busy afternoon at the very least.
a lot happened.
A lot has happened, more than I expected, but in a good way. All right, so I believe we'll call that an end to the session there. Thank you very much for watching. We stream here on Twitch every week at 8 o'clock UK time. Also, consider checking out our second stream, Rolling Misfits, where we kind of talk about previous streams. That is on Saturdays, same on Twitch, 8 o'clock UK time. Consider checking out our Twitter at rolling_with_it for updates about when we go live. Today, because I forgot because I'm an idiot, and any other announcements, stuff like that. Check out our YouTube for VODs, stuff like that. In case you missed any of the episodes, you can always go back and watch. I am making progress and working through the backlog. Just be patient. I will catch up one day. Any feedback, I always appreciate it. So feedback for me as a DM, feedback for the stream in general, and you can give. We can't improve if we don't know what's wrong. Show your friends, show your family, show your grandma. There's got to be someone's grandma out there who likes Dungeons and Dragons. I believe that's it. Thank you all very much for watching.
If we wanted to do that.
Oh, it's inspiration. I completely forgot. I'm an idiot. I think. Yeah, we'll do it anyway. Right. So, for those of you who don't know, what do I do with inspiration? Basically, I like to provide an opportunity to kind of reward players with particularly good RP or stupid joke, stuff like that. We had plenty of that this session, so I'm curious.
Plenty of both.
And because we're streaming this, I also like to give you, the audience, a quick chance to kind of offer your own opinion on who should receive the inspiration. So, while the straw poll is polling strawberry, Britty, who are you giving your inspiration to?
God, it's such a hard choice because both Matt and Riley had incredible RP moments today. If I could give it to both of you, I would, but I have to come down on it and say the performance from Riley was incredible, and I loved the Yareth reveal. It was expertly done. You are incredible.
Like Foxy, Lumie, and Nat's inspirations.
We'll do Lumie. You can vote for Lumie if you'd like. If we have a tie, I guess we might ask Lumie what she voted for. But if there's a clear winner, there's no point. Matt, who are you voting for?
I agree. It's a tough one today. And because of that, I think I've got to give it to the DM for just putting up with a lot of player chicanery today. You had to deal with a lot today.
Well, why, thank you. Riley.
You see, I'm gonna force a tie.
I believe that you mentioned you were going to give it to somebody at the beginning of the session for a certain terrible joke.
I did, and also like the RP with for that, and the RP with Phoenix, and the attempted RP with Yareth. I do have to give it to Fleet/Britty.
All right. Okay, so we've got a three-way tie between myself, Britty, and Riley. So we'll ask Lumie their opinion. And we'll get back to
you. Earlier, Lumie did say she was giving her inspiration to Riley.
She did. Yeah, we might as well just take that. So that's 2 for Riley. You get your inspiration. So anytime you roll a die, you can say, no, I don't like that, and re-roll it. All right. The chat inspiration is split 50-50 between Matt and Riley. Since Riley just got one, I think we'll give it to Matt. That makes sense to me.
I'm fully in favor of that.
Cool.
That's how I've done it in the past, I believe.
Yeah. All right. Thank you all very much
Sweet.
for watching. Hopefully see you again.
Yeah, that was good. Bye.